속에 새로운 진리 어디서 내가 no me
So it was which one?
Yeah, we learned this morning that the germs are everywhere, so I must make sure I sanitize. And we were told that one of the ways of preventing it is to sanitize them away. So everyone has been capillaring here all the time, so I'm sanitizing. Maranatha Masala, Jesu Waka was asked to do a small presentation by the elder, and as a soldier in the army, you don't say no. And the one good thing I learned in the study, it kind of reminded me of my track, financially speaking, which kind of got derailed, and maybe we'll learn as we go along. Will you please close our eyes in prayer? Heavenly Father, thank you, Lord, for this opportunity, Lord, to listen to these tools that with your Holy Spirit, Lord, may help us to be good stewards with us now, Lord, in Jesus' name. Amen. So last Sunday, we had a presentation here, Yama Pathfinder and Master Guides, and what else? But it was Master Guides, Pathfinder, and one thing we were told was that these posts, this gold thing here, it's designed only to be used for flags. And I then said, as the child, I said, no, but our elder here in church, Elder Mushriane, hangs other things in there. And we were told that we must not do that. Now again, and I like it that when this was done, I was not here. I love it because I can now use it as an object lesson. You cannot say who spoke. I saw your hand there, that I was just a little call. So two things before we continue. I know I've got a few minutes, but I'm going to use this because this discussion will be around this thing as well. If you look at this post and look at this part of they're not pleasing to the eye. I'm not sure if I'm using a good English. Abadala bazangixolela nabadikoni bazangixolela, but I'm going to use this to promote ukuthi sicela before siqale presentation that we meet uTata uNxusani. I'm appointing you to Nxusani. We need about 7,000 rand. I've calculated as I was coming here to get a proper setup here. So if you can have 7 people with 1,000 rand each, next Sabbath, it might be beautifully. So if it's 40, we can only contribute 500. So in any case, so can we see very and then next Sabbath, that will bring us a nice projector where we won't have to use e-pods of a Pathfinder. I will sit together with TikTok. Amen. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. A verse is found in the book of Luke, chapter 19. Just the two verses, 12 and 13 reads, therefore he said, this is a parable that Jesus is showing, a certain nobleman went into a far country to receive for himself a kingdom and to return. So he called 10 of his servants, delivered to them 10 minas, and said to them, do business till I come. May the Lord continue blessing his little and forevermore. Amen. I checked minas. Okay, this is the New King James version. So I checked minas, and the commentators about minas it's a salary for 3 months. 1 mina is equal to a 3-month salary. So this nobleman gave how many salaries to each person? One man equals to 3 months salary. So how many salaries were they given each? How many salaries were they each given? 1 mina is equal to 3 salaries. Let's read again. So he called 10 of his servants, delivered to them 10 minas, and said to them, do business till I come. So 1 mina is equal to 3 salaries. How many salaries were they given? And we found an answer. Isaiah is still talking. Men of God, which one? 30 salaries. Okay. It's okay. Let's be meeting in Mama. If the man of God speaks, we keep quiet. Yes, ma'am.
I don't understand the question on who the information is not enough. It's 10 minus.
1 mina is equal to 3 salaries. So they were given 10 minas.
10
Okay. Thank you. Okay, men of God, we go with men of God's answer. Okay. So yeah, I wanted us to utilize the. That's okay. That answer is also okay, Mama. It's a perspective. It's not it's a perspective. So here's the question that I want us to focus on before we start our presentation. Say it's 30 salaries. How many years is that? 2.5 years. So they're given a salary for 2.5 years upfront. No, one minor is three salaries. Okay, but let me not confuse it. Let me get to the point. If you were given, let's stick with the 30. Yeah, you can still continue calculating when you get home and get the exact amount. But for now, let's stick with 30 salaries. So if you are given 30 salaries upfront today, and then you are told, continue doing business, or like the NIV says, continue working till I come. A few questions, a few answers. What would we do with that lump sum as we like to go?
That's which is on.
Mangiceda lapho mangiceda lapho ngiplana iholide bese ngiyamtshela uMshonyane ukuthi siyabe iholide. We understand? Sibuye iholide. Lapho iholide siyashopha.
Paris.
Yes. Sibuye kushophini nani khona esibona abantwana ukuthi wasephelele.
Okay. Now from my side, I touch and you invest details by my portfolios. Yeah, I just specify my portfolio.
Any one or two more hands? Okay, there's one there. But I will get to that point that then you pass over the
Oh, and I'm not going to stop working. I'm just specifying my portfolios and keep on working. No, sometimes even working is good for your mental health.
Hallelujah, man of God.
I'm not sure where the model of the projects was from, but when I listen to that, what comes to my mind is that when I ask people who say, when I gonna start working on the dream, they always say, "Uti, when I have that dream." And I always tell them, "Uti, all things being equal, you've got the money in the bank. Let's go to the dream." And that reminds me of it because we always get stuck at the money and forget the dream, we forget the vision, we forget the purpose. So that verse came to what I do every day. I always ask, what is your purpose? What is your dream? Whether it's life coaching or it's business coaching, because we get stuck and I don't have money. And I always say that when you don't have money, don't get stuck and I don't have. What is it that you're looking for? So that way to be.
Nice. Any extra hands? Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. So this illustration, the verse says, "Do business until I come," and here is what you must use to continue working. So I see others stopping working and going to Paris, and you know, it's nice. It's beautiful dreams. Others diversifying, and those are beautiful dreams. But they showing something. Do we have a problem of money, or is that the right word? Way. Is money a problem? I read, I put some quotes here. Mark Twain says, "The lack of money is the root of all evil." No. Don't look at the verse. Mark Twain says, "The lack of money is the root of all evil." Is that in context correct or not? Or what would you say around that? Because if maybe we had money, we would have this kids education transit maybe there.
Yeah, to tell you those who is more evil, the one who has money or the one who has no money?
The one who has lack of money.
The one who has a lot of money, or the one who has lack of money.
Or if you
Just looking at the world,
yeah,
how things are. Because the people that have a lot of money, I see a lot of evil there. As a result, the evil that is down there is actually triggered by those who have
lack of money. So Oscar Wilde says that when I was young, I thought that money was the most important thing in my life. Now that I'm old, I know that it is. So when I was young, I thought that money is the most important thing in life. Now that I'm old, I know that it is. Is it? Are we old? Relatively speaking, right? So would we live without money? So is this statement correct according to the old selves that we are? Can I go to the second papaya done?
Look at that way. I'm glad that I don't have money. But in most cases, who don't have money are the ones who criticize the ones who have money. And people who have money do not criticize the ones who do not have. If they help them. And if we check, even in the Bible, people who were rich, unfortunately, we don't quote people in the Bible who were rich. We normally quote people who are part of the Illuminatis and other organizations, you know. But there were people in the Bible who were very humble and spiritual, yet they had money. Of which is an example. Actually, I think it's in Exodus, the I think it's in Exodus where God says, I don't want you to be chains, but I want you to be the head. So the issue of money, let us not deceive each other. We want money. We live in money and a lot of it. Abraham was rich. Abraham was rich in such a way that he has Abraham, yet humble and spiritual. Jacob, when he came back from his father, his uncle's
Guys, if you don't listen, listen.
Jacob, when he came back from exile, from his uncles with his two wives, he was rich and he had servants. So please, let us not deceive. By the way, who borrowed Jesus the grave? It's one of the people who was very rich. Grave. So the grave. So we need a lot of money. Amen.
Amen. Okay, so my presentation it's only a few slides, 10 slides. If we had money, what he's talking about now is abundance of it. I wouldn't have said, let's meet this brother as Kata. Maybe he would have bought it last year already, a one man. There's greed as well. Let's discard that for now. And I think that is where the man was coming from. So this presentation, it's adapted from a book called The Richest Man in Babylon. It's 7 chores to a mean place. To a place that looks like this one. Because that's why I asked the other because our places are like this one. They all have all these cards. What do they call them? Discount, smart shop, spa, shop, capital. Okay. So from you make it long, and I want to keep it short. On one slide, we can do a whole weekend presentation on one. So you said there are seven of these chores, but we'll do a high level summary of them, and the questions are allowed. Like I said, I adopted this thing from a book called. So the first one, it says start thy pace to fed me. Start thy pace to fed me. No, says King James. King James. So on here, the lesson that I want us to discuss in the next 2 minutes or so is that I'm a best example of this. No, I'm a bad example of this. You must feed the horse that does what?
Ronnie is not here.
So the horse that is the one that's working. That's the horse that must be fed so that it has the energy to continue doing what? Working. So the horse that brings maize, the horse that must be given some of that maize so that it fattens it, right? Or am I wrong? We're discussing. Okay. Now, what are the lessons there? It says you must pay yourself first. Obviously, we are Christians. We know what we would have done before that. but you ought to feed this horse. So as an example, the one example they say, you must put 10%, and I want us to dwell on this one, of your annual earnings aside. So you pay yourself, if you're earning R1 million, 100 million you must see the next year. Because now, in 25, we are getting the money bank. In 27, I say, nobody has very touching. The horse that was working your neck never got paid. So how do you put aside 10% when you don't even have enough to pay to Caesar what he was? Case by case. The key, and I'm like I said, I'm doing a high level summary. The key is the very horse that brings something must be paid first. And I'm saying, as an example, you're making R1 million. 100,000, I should see, especially for example, I was our president. I must always open my trust and see 100,000 is still here, you know. At least I'll feel that as a horse I worked, my 100,000 is still here. Now the problem is that before the month ends, the owners of the salary that you earn, they already have taken it. COVID. It's part of the gems. So maybe on number 2, if there's no question, we'll get some of the answers on the slide 2 of this. Is there any question here? Running through it. Okay. Next, the next cure says control thy expenditures. And this is where I was looking for a closer term. This is exactly where the problem lies with all of us, or with most of us who've got lean persons. As an example, those who are working and we're fortunate enough, last year they were crying that someone says, what's that quotation? The month is not long enough. The month is too long to cover, or my salary is too short to cover the whole month. So they were crying last year, hey, if I can just get an increase, I'll be fine. And they were fortunate enough to be given an increase. The same cries as last year, we're still hearing them this year.
Which time you went out?
Which all went out. So we will. Okay, let me jump to this slide. So here the issue. One of the issues, and these issues of petrol going up and down are very important. But one of the main issues is not being able to differentiate, and I'm preaching to myself as well here now, is not being able to differentiate between necessities and the nice to haves. So sometimes, okay, we need to do this, some of the basic necessities, you need a place to stay. You don't need a mansion to live in until you have enough to move to that. So some of us, someone says, you grow up in this household, when you kind of born, you guys, they like 3-4 bedroom house. And when you get out of school, you want to move into a 3-bedroom house. But if you think your parents maybe got that house when they were in their late 50s, when you are 27, 26, 23, you really want to go and buy a 4-bedroom house. Was there a necessity or was a conditioning that we didn't go out of? So, like I said, one of the lessons is also that here, because it's a problematic area, our capacities or our mind, our behavior is what we really have to work and pray for, because we like taking that card, and these days I even tap my phone, and I don't, even if I forget my wallet at home, I can just tap and pay with my phone. And then before I go to this slide, one suggestion was, at least to those who have budgets, because some of us, we are just swiping and hoping I'll be able to swipe everything else before the month ends. It says, draw up a budget and at least revisit that budget as often as possible. Like I'd say, if it's every 3 months, because what you were budgeting, what you were doing last 3 months ago, fish oil goes up. Someone said fish oil went up, or petrol goes down. You need to keep adjusting those things. So John Maxwell, I'm sure we know him. He says a budget is people telling their money what to do instead of wondering where it went. There's a hand here. Okay. And focus on the word. Because Zuma has not be is because your expenditures are not controlled. Yes. So if you control your expenditure, you'll be able to manage. If I can ask, on a daily basis, how much do you spend for your lunch? Yeah. Okay. Those would do, but if you can look at what you spend for lunch and accompany your colleagues to the shop, and on a plastic that is controlling your expenditure. Going to the mall, ibhutshi ineplastic ezimbili and end up ubungayazi uba ubuyokwenza ntoni or how did you spend the money. Your money will always disappear on a weekly basis, daily basis. So controlling your expenditure, taking record of how much you spend, then it will give you a realization of, was this a need or it was just a nice to have. We're starting in some or we're in some boxes of good ice cream, chocolates, and you name it, so that I feel good. Process a statement that I'm paying myself. Whereas you spending over what you need. So I think I would say remove the word budget, control your expenditure, and you'll see wonders. Thank you. And that statement that says pay yourself, it talks about saving. Remember I said President could open a mattress on $1 million because maybe the previous sale they only 100 million. Now there's $1 million. Doesn't mean that you must go buy ice cream. There is ice cream and all those things when you go to the budgeting part. And it's a nice to have. There's nothing wrong not to have these nice to haves. But what's the right word? But prioritization is key. Luke 14, verse 28 to 30 reads, "For which of you, intending to build a tower, does not sit down first and count the cost, whether he has enough to finish it, lest after he has laid the foundation and is not able to finish, all who see it begin to mock him, saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish." And that talks to budgeting. That talks to control your expenditures. It talks to engineers who talk about bill of quantities. Did you really count your stuff properly? Or you just, because you had a card, you were swiping? And Zig Ziglar ends it by saying, if you aim at nothing, you will hit it every single time. So maybe on the budgeting side, I know I was saying this we supposed to maybe to take a long time on doing this, but I'm doing it at a high level. On the budgeting side also, it's drawing up that budget and having the priorities. Somebody was telling me about a few years ago something called the JAR principle of budgeting. Not JAR as Rastaman, JAR as the jars, as classes. So they say they have 7 classes or 7 boxes. I put money there I have my box for my tithing, I have a box for giving, a box for financial freedom, like saving, a box for expenditures, a box for the nice to have, for going away on holiday, and. So in your 700 rand, if you put 100 as an example, at least you know what to do with your money. The next one, or the third one, says, make thy gold multiply. Diversification. Make thy gold multiply. I'm going to extract from this book I'm talking about, and it explains it nicely. Just excuse the New King James language. So he's also I would say referring to the same parable that we read. It says, I've already quoted the book. I'm reading 28 page. It says, again, 12 months later, Algamish came to the room of the scribes and addressed me. He said, what progress have you made since last I saw you? So 12 months ago, he was given these lessons and told how to make his gold multiply. So here's the answer. I have paid myself faithfully, I replied, and my savings I have entrusted to Agar, the shield maker, to buy bronze, and each 4th month he pays me the rental. So he's invested to this businessman, and every 4 months the businessman gives an interest on his investments. Sounds like a good thing. And then the guy responds, that is good. And what do you do with the renter? Says, I do have a great feast. I do have a great feast with honey and fine wine and spiced cakes. Also, I have bought me a scarlet tunic, and someday I shall buy me a young ass or young donkey upon which to ride, a beautiful car. To which Algamish laughed. You do eat the children of your savings? So, it's because it's getting rent, it's getting interest, and it's being asked, what do you do with the interest? He says, I eat it. How to? So you eat the children of your savings. Then how do you expect them to work for you? And how can they have children that will also work for you? First, get thee an army of golden slaves. Compound interest. Make that interest compound before. First, have an army of golden slaves, and then many a rich banquet may you enjoy without regret. So saying, he went away. Any comments?
Yes. 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 As we presenters, you are clear. Club the budgeting. If you look at where does how do I say this? Let's say for example, one of the things that we needed in the house is a car. Let me make an example. It was something that we needed, but we can't afford it. Then we realized that we can't because we can't afford it. So then we budget for the month. Then it is actually a particular code. I don't go to the model we have something 10,000, for example. They say the budget for the whole month. But of course, I know it's going to be a wise move to buy this car because we need it anyway, but we didn't have money to buy it. Then I jumped for this car. It was not in my budget. But because I realized that if I do that, it will be a good move for them, for our affordability at the moment. So what I wanted to do with it, how do you put that in all this where people then like the planet buy it down, I will put in the plastics. Because we are down in no, what I'm saying is that almost put that we are down. My people always say you tell us that we are doing we are doing and it's a sailing. And then as a camera will take a shape. Oh, of course, but it's a sailing. Yeah, well, so I tell that because it's a sailing, and the sail is very good. Yeah, well, in that issue of budgeting, where does that come in? Where you chase prices, which this is cheaper, and it's better to buy it while it's cheaper than to wait for the price to go up because of the
Next question.
Yeah, we speak. Tell them move here, please speak. Move a it in money
Make thy gold multiply.
is a problem.
Where else to do this?
Now make thy gold multiply. I understand investment, for example, it's a good thing to do, but investment itself is very risky. I want to believe a lot of people have lost money trying to multiply their gold. There are a lot of people that have really lost their
That's show number 4. We're going to.
Okay. Is a plan they show up and discuss function.
Yeah.
But the intention is the person really wanted to multiply the home, but lost. Because even that multiplied now is also risky. Because I investor when I couldn't say No. Triple M jam we can't go triple M clean. We can't go triple M clean.
The other one that when we get to number 4, talk specifically to this point.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's a head there attack. It was 2 questions. The first question is you budgeted for a car as an example, and then if you send that or it's quite costs budgeted.
I'll attempt to, from a financial planning perspective, it's not entirely a bad thing to restructure your budget or to decide otherwise go budget up, but you need to be cautious of the necessities and somewhere in your budget you have the standard things, school fees, groceries, and. But if people now want to take into account restructure your budget and buy that car that was not part of your budget, it's very important to go and reconcile and say, if we motor, it's costing me 10,000. It means that that is school fees. Yes, whatever then you know that income we are asking double the school fees, but the dangerous thing is spending at the expense of your budget, such that uzifumaniza ngoku izinto ezibalulekileyo uphele ungazenzanga, mhlawumbi awusenamali yerent, mhlawumbi awusena imoto awuyibhatalanga, and all of that. So the most important thing is revisiting that budget. If you had budgeted for for a weekend away with the family, it's something that you can postpone for maybe the near future and take that into consideration.
We manage those grumpiness for the near future because they're already picking their bags, but it's a consequence of budgeting. So thank you. I think the key word is restructure. It's not what we often do or what I often do, that I have to buy this, I buy it, and I don't want to look at the budget because I know it's going to cause problems. But if you go and sit and say, this weekend away, Mama, like that example, let's not do it, we'll get a car, something like that. There was another hand this time.
Because we know that in life you're going to have unexpected expenses. However, in your budget, that when you're doing your budget, you have an allowance that allows you to know this is only for the ones that just come. Miscellaneous, yes, the big ways. Miscellaneous items that may come during the month, like he says. At least you know the allowance, your budget, and your important things are taken care of, and your allowance gives you, and you make sure that you don't go outside that allowance.
So the danger I read about regarding this, I'll show you something here. The danger of, where's this thing? The danger I've seen about this thing. I'm not sure if we can see this. Yeah. So what is advised is that you can budget for, what's the right word I'm looking at it? Under these necessities. Could budget for have an emergency fund. Yeah, that's the term I'm looking for. And on the emergency fund, you write down what is an emergency. Having my car bumped by you is not an emergency. Your car will be stolen, or your car may be stolen, or your car might get into an accident. For that, you buy an insurance. Having my mom dying is not an emergency. She will die. You have to have an insurance for that. So sometimes when we put an emergency fund, and oftentimes we spend it for things that are not emergency. We put in emergency in there. I'm like, my kids are being fired back from school. It's an emergency. You had kids; they're supposed to be paying school fees. It's not an emergency that they give. So and then again, I think I was bringing this just to look into the images, identify the full stuff I'm looking for. But is to say, you. In fact, the member has already said they were already budgeting for the car. They were putting money away for the car, but then the budget came in before the money was full enough for the budget. For the stuff they wanted. And I think the only way or the best way would be to restructure. It's a budget. Yes. So the parking or the prayer item being answered. I'm not sure if the prayer item was give me a car and help me restructure the budget, because if you're getting something, there must be something to pay for it. So I think the issue is we need to restructure our budgets if there's a prayer answered.
And here is the situation. So you're going to spend 10,000 or 20,000 for this, and have something if the prayer answered, and take it. Yeah. Move to do.
Yeah, I agree. It's a wise move to do. But if this car is 20,000 rand, you are already 10,000 rand. So you must find the 10,000 rand from your budget, your current budget. Hence the restructuring point. You have a point, or I need to move to. So try you don't know. Then you say. You cannot be part of emergency, say. It's not. It's not. And there'll always be sales in each and every shop. And that's how marketers are using those that don't plan or control their expenditure, using the word save for you to go and spend for things out of the delivery plan to buy. Or economy. But you realize that this thing is there. So it's saying they'll always be saying that. So you need to just ask yourself, why am I doing this? Is it aligned with my use the word budget? But you need to make sure that you control your expenditure. Because they can't be that every day there's a sale. Want to be happy? No. As far as what wrong with decide safe. What than thieves. Never more than thieves become the best chefs. No. Like this guy didn't beautiful tomorrow. You cannot budget it. So as we are rushing towards rushing the time, the fourth cure is guard thy treasures from loss. This is where again was wanted to comment. So the fourth cure is you ought to guard your treasures from loss. Ensure security of your principle. So, in trying to answer your question, when you get to now the investment part of things, you have to seek advice from the experts in the field. I cannot just come and say, hey, join us 100,000 rand, SASA 50,000 or 50,000 rand. Who is good? So, and if you go to financial planners as an example, as they will be invited in diversifying your portfolio, they have what you call these things. When you in each field we've got these bodies that we professional bodies, and and all those things, and insurance and all those things. So as much as you won't be guaranteed, I don't say loss, because at least to a certain, to a large extent, your principal is almost protected. But if you put to me, I don't know, did you invest in AAA, or I was just using an example. If you give me as an example, I put it on AAA and say, bruh, give me this money today. Next week, you'll find it double the amount. You are guaranteed to lose it, because there's no body, there's no exam I wrote. I know now. I just believe who man of God. Because man of God said yes. So when it comes to these things, it has to be experts in the field, not men of God. Because I don't know, so many people have lost money to men of God. Any comment? Is that can comment? There's something I think actually to explain. Yeah, I see that. Okay. Hopefully we've learned. It looks like we've learned it the hard way. Yeah. So next time it has to be an expert in the field. Then I put my money. It's my head and money. I can't just give it away to a pusher to pray for it so that tomorrow it's double.
Hallelujah.
You must be prepared to. There's nothing for Mahala. Yes, sir.
Yeah, in that I was looking for the main channel of investments.
I was using an example of that. I'm not talking to anyone. I'm just using.
I understand you, but I just want people to know what I'm not the main investments. I'm talking about losing or invested in institutions as a or FLB, uthenge shares or MTN, zilahleke shares uthenge, and then for example, a few years back there were a lot of shares that were sold, and shares were buying shares honestly investing, and I tell you, by the time some of them they had to draw those shares, they were way less than what they put in, because you put your shares there, then there's war in Ukraine. Then your shares have lost. You lose the story. So really, I mean, where is wisdom even in the investing itself? Because even the very same experts, they are the ones that are you need MTN is only 3 rand a share. Come on, BE shares, everybody, we are being robbed by the very same MTN. Because the BE shares. Okay, jumping for them. You are doing it properly.
Thank you. But if for example to go on the slide material financial plan as an example. So the couple of investment vehicles that we have, and they will also check your appetite. Is it the right word? Risk appetite in terms of investments. Analysis, I don't remember the term that they use. So Dala, a Kaya who is 59 years old and next year is retired. And this retirement, this million rand that is in my pension fund, it's been calculated that it is going to take me another 5 years before I die. And then someone says, go to the account, says, give me this million rand, put it in shares. I believe you sorry for it. I'll be foolish to put, because at there I don't have the I don't have that. So at least a younger one, there will be this Ukraine's and up and down, on average, at least you have a growth in your share skills, in your portfolio. So I think a proper analysis with a financial planner, in my opinion, at least, so if you are, it's not someone who works for Old Mutual, whom I'm going to sit down with and take insurance as Old Mutual. That's a broker in my books. I'm not, thank you. Basically, anyone is a financial planner. If you're going to sit with me and do a needs analysis with me and say, "Kai, I must go buy a Discovery there," and then if it means working for Discovery. But if you say to me, I'll pay for it, but we have to pay for the service because the person he makes money out of this. I sit with you, say, where now you can invest on this, and then let's look for portfolios that we can invest. And if I'm a broker, I will push you to buy Yasasana. Whether you meet it, I'll make sure to some extent to meet it. You had your hand, I think I'm wrapping up. I'm left with 3 more slides and I'm done.
I think you look at something similar with not only the investment risk you will need one. Although it's also necessary. It's also taking risk service. And the other thing which you must always, before you invest, get information in now. That's very important. Because when you take any company efficient, that company sends a 10 over 8 billion. Only to find out what the guys with the owners, the two scientists, actually where they normally fish, working up in 2 years' time. Exactly. Then this guy buys the company, tries to honor the books, zero. Why 10 company? 2 years down the line, he fishes. Those guys, the mayors, for fighting. Yeah. So it's always good before you get to any investment, do research and check to trade
And I like what Gordon is saying. Before you get into it, don't get into it. I mean, if coming from home to here, it's a risk on its own. I would have just stayed in my house and I've avoided risk of all these accidents. But also staying in my house is a risk on its own because somebody could come in and rob me. So there's always risk everywhere. We just need to minimize that by research. Yes, sir. I think you're fine. Okay.
Yeah, I would like to say now with regard to our treasure from losses. The man is talking from experience because he gave certain individual merchants money to buy nice things there so that he can get the returns. It's the same example that Kaya is giving. Which sometimes risk what you can afford to lose. Because if ubolekisa imali ebekumele ubhatala nayo rent, ogqiba baleke ubrother member, the minute enye uzawushiyeka ukhathazekile, awukwazi ukuexplaina kunkosikazi uba imali uyitheni because the man of God is gone.
It's your foolishness.
Yes. So give people or risk the money that you can afford to lose. The money that's supposed to be paying expenses, don't even borrow from surplus.
Thank you. Let me rush. Oh, okay. Women of God.
I think we have to avoid things that sound good to be true and who get rich quick. Let's try to avoid that, especially yeah? And number 2, the reality of the matter is Tina as Black community. We needed to build from scratch. So that on its own, it needed more wisdom to create wealth for ifamily zethu, generational wealth. And sizayicreate njani i-generational wealth if siyasaba. You understand? The most important thing is we have to be in the position of taking a risk. And imagine, because Tina as Christians, in everything that we do, siyathandaza. God will avail, and He does avail opportunities for us. The higher the risk, the more the return. But ungafuni i-returns overnight. Yabona, kuthiwe yey zininzi ke ezaa zinto. Andifuni nokuzibiza ngamagama kuthiwa 50,000 in 2 weeks ntonto. It sounds good to be true. Yabona. So investment, it's good. Sipreparela i-winter to come. And nokuthi abantwana bethu bangathi go through izinto esikuwe through thina. Yabo. We normally say pha endlini i-comfort sizayifumana after maybe sekukudala, like at the moment siku-stage whereby we are creating generational wealth, which is very sad for us because abanye bafika bayaphungela thina seza parents ufanele ucinge ukuthi wenza njani. So let's ask wisdom from God ukuthi asincede and avele i-opportunities. Or on mutual about remember with investment, it's taking risk. So assess the risk. You cannot touch your own into survival money. Uyoifaka kuma shares. Because I mean lama shares, it's highly possible even after 10 years, you might be getting lesser than what you are expecting. Why am I saying that? The reason of the matter, we are dealing with inflation, the economy of the country is so, but it's imperative, it's crucial, it's vital as children of the Most High to invest. Ututhixo, fear not, I will be with you. Masicele uYehova avele opportunities. They investment asibonise prayerfully bazalwane. Amen. Amen, bazalwane.
Hallelujah. Okay, and number 5, as we are quickly ending this presentation, I found this quotation. I just couldn't find the owner of it. A few of them I found. This one says, "Never spend your money before you have it." Reminded of a story I watched TV back in the days. Uvelaphi Mjongeni. There was, I think he had, whether it was gold, he found gold, and because he had found gold, he started spending before even getting cash out of the other gold. So he went, and then after he had spent or got into debt, when they checked, they found it was glass or something like that. It was not working. So but the 7th choice says, the 5th choice, make of thy dwelling a profitable investment. So own your own place and make it profitable. There's Tunembono is means the Tanana. They are, how to say it in English? There are different views here. Accountants have been taught that if you buy a house, it's an asset. And there are those who are saying an asset is something that puts money into my pocket. And the liability is something that takes money into my pocket. So I know that house every month it takes money from my pocket. Every single month. So this school of thought that says your dwelling is not an investment. It says if you were to take your money and buy a flat next door, and then someone pays you for that. And then you can then describe that as an asset. But it's a school of thought. It has nothing to do with the presentation today, because in this presentation, for example, I would say when we have a place, there's over and about the fact that you owe it, I mean, it's a liability, you still paying it, but there's some sense of, homeness, sort of feeling that you have something, even though the bank can take it, because it's theirs at the end of the day. But the fifth cure is to make of thy dwelling a profitable investment. I'm rushing now. Who's this hand? There are two hands. Can you pass the mic?
Thank you, God. I know, particularly, we always prefer me now, ne? I want to come back to the years in a
Okay. Let's talk it
in a simple way.
Yes.
Yeah. A home of Salabri, if they increase. And most of the time, the value increases while you are still owing it. The reason we are saying it's an asset, you bought it near 1 million, now it's worth 1.8. Let's assume I'm interested in money, maybe after 5 years, capital, saying 100,000, you still owe 900,000, but the house worth 1.8. That's why we are saying it's an asset. Because if it's the only thing you own, then the net worth is 900,000. Because you would say the value of the house is 1.8 less the loan, then you have a net worth of 900,000. So that's why we encourage people to buy homes. Yes, every month there will be monthly expenses. Anyway, our expenses also are than even if both rent. So it's an advantage to own, because even if you fail to pay, you lose your job, you can sell the house at 1.8 million, sell 900 a bank, then only 900 trends to start 900,000 to start in life.
Thank you, Dara. That's a beautiful explanation of the other side. Let's listen to.
I don't know. We raised our hands together with Umdala. Though I intend to be very engaged with what you're saying. There's a place called Bechi. I think most of you guys say Bechi. Yeah, the houses.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, Cheshi. So okay, so
yes,
2 years back, the value, if I will replace the new house, I think we were buying them around 960,000. But now, because they sold all the houses and the crime which is happening in the area, pulling food on the other side, I think it's especially 18 coming. There's no house of them with the value of 800,000 or above. Everything is less. So I just want to be on dialogue with it. Sometimes it depends where you bought your house. And after buying your house, whether you extended your house, if it's a 3-bedroom house, did you extend it to 4 or 5, then for the value to increase or to appreciate, or you left it like that. So that can be a debate what's the message. But however, coming back to own your home. Remember Clauson, J.J. Clauson, the writer of the book. He wrote this book, The Time when the Israelites were in the movement of going, like they were in the process of going back to Jerusalem for 70 years. So Babylon was probably the richest or the superpower of that time. So now what happened was in Babylon, you will get some skills, and after getting some skills, when there's a proof which you have acquired the skills, then the government will give you the land. So they were not referring to Kubuchi. As much as you have a land, you develop the land that you have. So unfortunately, we are talking to people who stay in Sichuan, they buy apartments, they buy houses, where you what call this? You have an access control, a gate, a boom gate where you get in. You don't even own. Those of you, most of you guys who stay in Midland, you don't own the land. Even if you buy the house, the land does not belong to you. It belongs to a Jewish family sitting somewhere. So Uklason was referring to people who are owning the land, which the land that you are owning, develop it. He was not talking to going to the bank, you make a big loan whereby after 2 years you lose your job, then they repossess their house. No, he was talking about a situation where you are owning the land belongs to you. Now, there are two boys that I'm very proud of. Unfortunately, please forgive me to mention their names from Limpopo. There's a boy called King Munada and Master KG. Those boys, they are not owning apartments in Gauteng. They went home in rural areas where they live, Emakaya, demolished those ronavers, and they built beautiful houses in the village. So that is what Klason is talking about. To say that land that you're owning, develop it, it belongs to you. But if there is a house where tomorrow you lose a job and the bank will take you to the lawyers and then they repossess the house, I'm not sure whether he was referring to that.
Thank you. The sixth cure is ensure a future income. Ensure a future income. So one quote from the same book says, provide in advance for the needs of thy growing age and protection for thy family. Now, this is where we have to be talking to retirement planning, because our ages are growing. So in advance, we ought to be providing for that. And like I said, these are some of the crucial years in our lives. We don't have the energy to go recreate. So we ought to be making sure that now when we still have the energy, the English says, make hay while the sun shines, right? So you prepare now for the retirement ages. This is now where you really sit with the, not the fly by nights that will take you money. Make sure that your retirement is taken care of. And furthermore, you even go further to your estate planning. We were talking, I think, with Elder Nelson the other day. So the financial planner I was talking to was saying, I can't remember now the percentage, but apparently with estate planning, if your estate is an example, there's a percentage, it's an estate duty. Let's say I drops date today, and my estate, let's say, is 10 million rand. So I think that about 3%. So when I drop date, my everything in my name switches off. No, the moment my debt is registered with Home Affairs, they close off all the tabs as an example. Now there's a 10 million rand potential that my family can get, obviously after settling everything else, but they will need 3% of that in cash upfront to unlock that that thing. So in estate planning, you find that some of the estates are not being wound up because there's no money. Obviously, there's also there's money, there's also claims. There's other people who are asking, hi, now to get out of school. Hi, now the money. So there are a lot of those things. But these are the things that we have to plan now. So ensure a future income. We plan now so that if I die, at least they can continue. Unlike bahlale for years without being able to access the funds. I want to run to the last one. Is there a question or comment? Yeah. So when we get something, I'm not expecting, but it's a whole lot involved. You know, like you say, executors, all these people that are involved, all these lawyers that want their share, and everyone else would want a claim. So when we come to this, we have to be thorough. Again, no use of fly by night. In fact, these guys were saying, if your estate is worth R1 million today, let's say it's 3%, the wind up, all of those things, then you can take an insurance. Let's say what 30,000 rand is your estate duties. Let's say, okay, take an insurance of 30,000 and pay us 3 rand or 30 rand a month. So that when you die, we then pay your estate duties, then everything flows like that. So those are some of the things. But these you have to sit with estate planners and people who are doing wills and all those testaments. Listen. Very important. You will. Proof the government made it easy. Wonke umuntu naye will. And the government in a template interstate. Yabe ngiyaqonda basokola abantu bafabeke no will. But vele senze will. Umuntu ongenawo will. I-estate yakhe sayo. Manje ukuzekela akasakha ngithetha ngokwesabishini. Abinyanzelekanga ukwamkela iyosi noba mwamkela ngezulu liyakwazi ukungajekthiwe. Kwabantu abamkeleyo kwabantu abangajektanga ngazuthi hayi mazange ndiyinike i-chance hayi. Your failure to accept Jesus means rejected and yes, hoping. Your failure to make a will means that there is a will that the government has for you, so that when you die, we don't wonder what to do. We just deal like this with your life, period. And it's very cruel. Will. So that, and in September, it's good that we've got this future. In September, it is free of charge. You can go to any lawyer, I'm here to do a will. September month, fikihlale ubhaliwe uboniswa bhala kanje sukuthi so uyifayilishi. Ngathi soyenza manje banda imelela bonke bekhaya. Bethuni will mina nenkosikazi sinayo ikulamagqwetha. Nani ke xa ninazo sixeleleni so that xa nibhubhile singazubhuda singazoba sithini ngalo. Thanks. In fact, not only in September, if you go to your bank, they will do a will for you. I think last time I checked, FNB, they will take like 6 rand a year to fight, to keep it in their price. So, and you don't have to have 1 rand to have a will. With your cent, like me, you must have a will. You don't say, I'm waiting for $1 million before I start having a will. Because if I want $1 million as an example, and I want to just emphasize on what Mr. Kamata was saying. There's something called orphans fund. So all these people who are all these people who don't have wills. When you die today, say, your estate is not transferred to, okay, will find and get a share if that's the regime, then your estate will be put into this fund. Now those guys, our government, will decide how to spend, how to give your children. and you are now giving your money to work it, and hopefully they will be godly enough to at least give something to your children. So this one is very important. Okay, let's just okay. This is the last slide. Can you?
I had a brother who passed away 7 years ago. He was the chairman, biggest association, doing very well. Yeah, doing very well. When you see the Revaya instrument, he's the one who make sure shareholder Revaya. 7 years ago, because the guy had no will, the estate I gave him today. Yeah, 7 years later. The wife passed away 4 years ago. Yeah? No, like it's Titonani. So what I'm trying to say is it is very important for us to have our will, because the will is like you talking in the grave. Yeah.
It's working. Let's just speak to it.
Okay, so what I'm trying to say is it is very important for us to have a will. Yeah? It will wishes zakho in the grave will be happening when you are gone. And if we avoid it, it does not mean you love your family. In actual fact, you will be leaving them in a difficult situation, in a worse off situation. And number two, it is very important to nominate an executor, preferably somebody that you trust or from your family, and somebody who is not going to require money, from the same estate. You get what I'm saying? Because there is a certain percent, I think it's 8%. I'm not sure, I forgot. There is a certain percentage of your estate that needs to go to the executor. So if you did not nominate one, a friend, a trusted friend, or a family member, your family, before they can access whatever, they're going to pay that amount of money for that person to, to distribute funds to your family. So let's be wise, let's do this. It's the right thing to do. I know our culture has taught us that, that thing when you are doing the will and the Musadi is actually with us, Musadi or is going to kill me. So it's the right thing to do. And another thing quickly in closing, it's very important to have operating cost. Practical example, if I pass away or we are humble, it's really possible to wait for a year or 6 months or more. What's going to happen during that time, especially if we were a breadwinner? So my sense that it was that you see the need, like abantwana, it's imperative, Bazaran.
Thank you. I know someone or some people about I influence will because it needs self. It's you are going to die. That one is guaranteed. We are all going to die. So someone make it. Do make a will. Don't make a will because don't say I'm not going to do it because I'm going to die. You are going to die. So do your will anyway. I'll give this hand just when I finish with this slide, and I'll come to that hand. There's something that I think one of the ladies we said last week. I remember it was a very important discussion there. So the last one says increase thy ability to earn. Increase thy ability to earn. In short, a summary, a quote there again says, cultivate thy own powers cultivate their own powers, to study and become wiser, to become more skillful, so as to act, to respect thyself. One of the ways in investing in yourself is to invest in yourself. Keep studying, keep learning, keep reading books, keep attending seminars, have people who push you to grow. So when someone says, I think it's another quotation, if your circle of friends, you are the more, you always like, you look like you're the wise one there, it means you're not growing. You need to be, you cannot be the only wise person in your circle of friends. So if your friends, you are always clear, it means you're not growing. You need to move. You must have, and someone says this thing that I don't tell. As much as you want to have these mentees, the people that you are mentoring, where you feel wise, then there must be people who are also building you. But if you are with the friends at church or anywhere, and you are always the wise one, you must know you are dead. Because you don't need anything. I think I'm gonna stop it there. Yeah, I'll stop it there. There was 2 hands I saw. Okay, there's a hand here at the back. You find it? I was seeing hands. I was seeing things. Where's the mic? And no, come out. You'll find that one of the reasons, like I said, one of the reasons why that estate is not wound up to date 7 years later could also because they don't have, let's say if it's a big businessman. This is a big businessman, as an example, you are worth 10 million, 20 million, you must pay, let's say it's 10% this thing. Where are you going to get that 10%? 2 million to wind up. If that's the thing, there's a person says 10%, 2 million to wind up, and they say, oh, if it's 1%, 200,000, where are you going to get it? Yes, sir.
That was a good. No, but I think this is very important information that you are sharing. Mine is just to thank you for this. But every time we discuss these 7 points that you have gone through, I always go to Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes talk about all these 7 things. And then it says it's vanity or vanity. Okay? And I think I'm qualified to read this verse because I think God is there. Right? I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and vexation of spirit. Right? But that's not saying what you shared is important, but then I will do something that is out of line to conclude your talk. Right? I know you're going to conclude, but I want to conclude it also. And it's concluded by Ecclesiastes this way. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments. For this is the whole duty.
Hallelujah. The elder has spoken, not just the elder, the elder's elder. So that is the verse part, and I think that was going to be my closing verse as well. So I don't have to mention it again. Can we make sure we have words, guys, and let's stand up in prayer. Are we closing down, or what's the plan?
Yeah, no, we are closing.
Should we maybe sing and get the keys so we can play together?
Yes.
Okay, Dr. Memo.
I'm talking to
So fast.